Hello, I'm going to be speaking about autosexuality. I'm going to be speaking about it because it was something that came up in our group as we were talking about it in the lesson we had. And when we were speaking about it, I was like, maybe I'll speak about autosexuality. And autosexuality is when people have a sexual attraction to themselves. So this can look like using mirrors to sexually gratify yourself. It can look like having more of an interest romantically also to yourself than to other people. And it can also look like fantasizing around images of yourself, or when having sex with other people, you could be thinking about yourself and fantasizing about yourself and taking pleasure from your own body rather than the other person. So it doesn't necessarily mean that person never is attracted to other people, but it can also mean that one does not feel erotic feelings towards other people. Some people choose to be in relationships with other people, while other people choose to be in relationship with themselves, and their autosexuality is a form of relationship with themselves. And in the same way that you may be going on dates with a partner, someone who's autosexual could go on dates with themselves, create romantic scenarios with candles or mood lighting, just the way you might treat a partner, you may treat yourself. A common question around autosexuality is whether it's due to traits of narcissism. And currently, most current research or modern outlooks do not conflate the two together, where sexual narcissism is seen as something different, as a different construct, where that comes with validation-seeking behavior and more like exploitative behavior, whereas autosexuality does not have that. And however, other people do see it as something related to narcissism, and there have been some studies that look at people with autosexuality. No, they looked at people with narcissism and did some eye tracking studies with them, where they found that people with narcissism are more likely to want to look at themselves in the mirror during sexual activity. So that was a study around like using mirrors and narcissism. Overall, autosexuality is seen as quite a rare sexual orientation, and it's pretty rare, but there are people who identify with it, and as I say that, I'm wondering whether it is a kink or whether it's just whether it's more of a sexual identity and orientation. While I was researching all this, I went down a little rabbit hole around autoerotic deaths, autoerotic fatalities, and came across a pretty interesting article where it explored like death due to autoerotic behavior, which is basically people dying by accident, not through suicide, due to trying to get more pleasure, more sensation through things like BDSM and asphyxiation, and they can tell that it's not suicide due to there being sometimes like material, for example, between the neck and the rope, or other signs that person was not trying to kill themselves. And reading specific case studies or around people who have passed away in this kind of way. For certain individuals, the preferred or exclusive mode of producing sexual excitement. So yeah, for some people, the only way that they enjoy themselves sexually is to be asphyxiated, and sometimes beyond the point of consciousness, to or beyond the point of consciousness. They make a note that it is not criminal, but it is a dangerous form of masturbation, and often death is accidental. Yeah, I don't know, I went on a little rabbit hole there on asphyxiation, which I imagine might also be part of some people's autosexuality. That's me.